Actually, this upcoming Monday, I will be traveling to Jackson, Tennessee, which is right by Nashville, for those who don't know, and competing for the title of Miss Teen Volunteer America, where she is a national ambassador for the Salvation Army and St. Jude Children's Hospital, partners that I have been working with my entire reign since I won this title in July. And just an opportunity to represent America is really cool. So hopefully I'll come back to South Carolina with that title soon. Growing up, I saw my entire family volunteer. My mom with hospice, my sisters and brothers for National Honor Society, if it was, making goodie bags or working with hospice or the Salvation Army. But as the South Carolina teen volunteer, I've been able to work hand in hand with the Salvation Army. Actually, I was able and given the opportunity to go to New York Fashion Week. And while I was having so much fun in New York, I actually got to slip away from the fashion side and go to Harlem, which I served in the soup kitchen for the Salvation Army. And just being able to wear South Carolina across my chest, and all these people go, "Hey, like, what are you doing here from South Carolina?" And I'm like, this is what we love to do. We love to volunteer. And like, that's just one example. I just did a hot meal kind of drive through raising money for St. Jude. And I also love working with hospice there. Something very near and dear to my heart. If it's going to play bingo, if it's helping them get their hair done, or dancing for them, is something I'm very passionate about, and is something I love to do and will carry on as I live my life. Well, it all kind of wraps back to whenever I was a student, a very young student in the second and third grade, and I realized I had a reading disability. And growing up with one, I struggled asking for help. I had no want or need to improve in life. And so I shadowed myself into a back of a classroom failing the grades. And now that I'm able to advocate for those 1 in 5 children who are struggling with disabilities in silence, I am able to just have this voice for them. And so I am very passionate about, getting that out into our younger generations. And for the younger kids, they might not understand a lot or understand about anything that goes with disabilities. So I read a book called Kindness is My Superpower, just talking about how kindness, you can do it by opening a door, telling someone to have a great day, because you never know what their home life is like. And so I explain that to like the younger kids, but to the older kids, I talk about data. I talk about the statistics that they might need to know or maybe look for in a classroom. And it's just something that I have built up over the years. And I love working with the state of South Carolina to get Mal's Mission posted, which is my initiative. And it's something I'm very passionate about. Mal's Mission, Identify, Connect, Conquer, is a step-by-step process of identifying a disability, connecting with the resources in your community to conquer it. And it's my story, but I'm projecting it to the rest of our communities. Yes, so at the age of 15, I had full reconstructive hip surgery, which for a dancer is a big no-no. You do not want to be out for an injury, especially a surgery like that. That is so critical. Whenever you're a dancer, you use your hips in every aspect. So having this hip injury, it really took not only a physical standpoint of back from away from me, as I was bedbound for several months and couldn't walk, especially dance, but it took a mental break on me. And I was 15 years old, so dance was my life back then, and that's all I cared about. And so now that I'm fully recovered, I had a year-long recovery. I am back dancing as a senior elite dancer at Shock Dance Center, and my talent for Miss Teen Volunteer America is dance, and it's just something I'm very passionate about. I love to perform. That's what I do, jazz, musical theater. I love to perform and just get my story. Dance was an outlet for me, and it's something that really saved me when I was a kid. Whenever I was going through my disability by myself, I went to my room and I danced, and that's the way I let out those emotions. And so now that I'm able to perform and let that emotion to the audience, it's really something special. And I just love that I can be such a resilient person to now speak about my struggles, even though during that time they were really hard. Next year, I'll be going to the University of South Carolina. Go Cox. Sorry for any Clemson fans out there. But I'll be studying political science, and I have always just gravitated towards law. So my first 4 years, I'll be studying political science, as maybe being on the dance team there. And then I want to actually move to Dallas, Texas, and be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader for about 2 years before I come back to law school at the University of South Carolina, where I want to study criminal justice and special victims unit. I have just love the fact that I want to help my community. If it's a person, a family, a community, a state, and being a lawyer is something I've always wanted to do. But it doesn't just stop there. I would love to be a judge one day and maybe even run for office. So I went to Palmetto Girls State this past summer, and learning about the civics and everything about the political aspect of life, it really opened a door for me, and that's where I want to be.